Mega Rayquaza. What's good? It's your boy Rico. Welcome back to another episode of Pokemon Duel. And the reason why I sigh at Mega Rayquaza is because that means we're going to see Alterias again. I mean, they haven't really disappeared from the meta, have they? I mean, I don't see them too often, but now we're going to see a plethora of more Altaria. And I was tired of that meta, man. I want that to go away, but let's get into the information that we have today. I actually haven't played Pokemon Duel for, I think, a day and a half, maybe 2 days. I don't know. But we were blessed with this information. So let's take a dive in and see what we get hyped for the summer. We have that legendary Pokemon figure is coming soon. Countdown login events underway. Gems needed for the plate shop, case expansion, and time boosters are half off for a limited time. It might do the case expansion. That's what I kind of need to do. Gems, I have... or plates, I have 400 gems. We are gonna go shopping. I need to get the bright powder. I could be getting the Genesect plates, but I don't know if I really want them. And then we have this image, the legendary figure you may finally arrive during the summer celebration in July. Look at that figure. Looks like Mega Rayquaza. And let's keep reading, and then I'll tell you why I'm sighing. Its ability is strong against blue attacks. Well, we know what Shiny Ray does. It prevents your figures from going to the Ultra Space. So that's an indication that it's probably going to be Shiny Ray. I know there was some debating on via Twitter that it could be Zygarde or some other figures. I think Kenny said, who did he say? I can't remember who he said. Not Landorus, but the normal type. I can't even figure. I don't remember what his name is. It's not Landorus. Thundurus. He says Thundurus. But I don't think so. Its ability buffs allied dragon types, so that just boom, it's not Landorus or Thundurus. And it has the ultimate high firepower gold attack. Oh boy. Remember when we got the last like UB banner and I was like, it's not worth it. This is what I think is going to happen. I think that the devs are going to offer you your last chance to get the Ultra Beast. It's a cash grab, and then they're going to release something that's going to counter them. Here we are. We have the countdown login events, obtainable items, rare, metal, cube ingot, and Carmenite. Oh, this goes into the 1st of July. Plate shops. Okay, so it's basically just giving the durations. So you know what we typically do on my channel. When we get some information, it's time to do speculation. So let's go to the desktop. Let's go and check out this monster right here. I need to make sure that we're good. Rayquaza into Mega Rayquaza. Now, am I the only one that thinks, well, when I think of Mega Rayquaza, it kind of reminds me of Shenron from Dragon Ball Z. So if you don't know who that is, Shenron DBZ, this is what Shenron looks like. So when I think of Rayquaza or Mega Rayquaza, I just think of this image right here. I think of Shenron. I think of DBZ. I think of the Dragon Balls. But that is not the case. This is Mega Rayquaza right there. There's somewhat similarities, right? So let's talk about the attacks and the ability that we think Shiny Ray, or not Shiny Ray, Mega Rayquaza is going to have. So if we go down and look at Mega Rayquaza's ability or his stats, his attack and his special attack are kind of what increases from 150 to 150 goes up by 30, and his speed is 115. Now, we know regular Ray, Shiny Ray is 1 MP. I'm going to predict that Mega Rayquaza is going to be 2 MP. Now, what Mega Rayquaza is known for, and the reason or how you have to obtain Mega Rayquaza in the Game Boy games, you have to have the Dragon Ascent attack. How do I go to him? No, these are just images. You have to have the Dragon Ascent attack. So what I'm predicting here is that Mega Rayquaza, his will is going to be pretty similar to Blaziken, Mega Blaziken, Houndoom to Mega Houndoom, meaning their wills don't necessarily change much. The wheels, the wheel piece kind of remains the same, and the colors remain the same. So I'm assuming that I don't think we're going to get rid of Break Energy. Although, like, does anybody even use energy plates that much anymore? Keyword that much. Like, I know some people do, but I don't think energy plates are that prevalent in the meta. So I don't know, maybe it needs a new attack, but I don't think it's going to go anywhere. I think it's going to stay break energy 70, and then, you know, plus the buff, it's going to be hitting for 90, plus the Alterias, it's going to be a nightmare. Care Bear actually alluded to a deck he's going to be running. It's like 3 Alterias, the Noibat into Noivern, Rayquaza into Shiny Ray, and I forgot who his 3rd or 6th was, but I'm going to predict that the break energy remains the same, fly remains the same, but that extreme speed gold is going to change into Dragon Ascent gold, and it's going to be, what did it say, high firepower. Like, are we going to see a gold that's going to be hitting for 180 with the evolution plus the buffs, 200 plus? Are we really going to see that? That is why I'm not super excited, because that is too much, man. I'm just, oh, it was a Shaman. It was Shaman. That was the 6-figure on Care Bear's deck. So can you imagine that, the land Shaman, and you just have this Mega Rayquaza just causing havoc all over the field? So that's why I'm kind of like meh on it. So I totally forgot to talk about Mega Rayquaza's ability. Mega Rayquaza's ability in the Game Boy games is the Delta Stream. So if you guys don't know what the Delta Stream's ability is, I'm going to kind of read it. It's a little confusing, and then we're going to kind of make our interpretations of what we think it's going to be. So when in a battle, the Delta Stream when a Pokemon with Delta Stream enters the battle, or a Pokemon gains the ability, a unique weather condition called Mysterious Air Current is created. In a rotation battle, Delta Stream will not activate if the Pokemon is sent out in a rotated position. This doesn't really apply to us. In addition, Delta Stream will not act. Okay, doesn't really apply to us. The Mysterious Air Current causes moves that would be super effective against flying type Pokemon to instead deal neutral damage to all flying mons. So let's say if you have an electric attack or an ice or an rock type, that is no longer special or super effective. It just does neutral damage. Again, that does not apply to us. Additionally, a Mysterious Air Current causes the weather modifying moves Sunny Day, Rainy Dance, Sandstorm, and Hail to fail if used. So let's say a Pokemon comes out, it has Sunny Day. Well, if the Delta Stream is in effect, those weather conditions do not commence. Again, does not necessarily apply to us. And you guys know, I cannot wait until we get weather conditions. However, my interpretation of this, and it's probably outlandish, could be wrong, what if it just completely shuts down the Ultra Space? Like, what if your figures cannot go to Ultra Space and their figures cannot go into the Ultra Space? That would be somewhat interesting, and I could probably see them doing that. Here, guys, let's have a banner for all the Ultra Beasts, but then we're going to completely hard counter them. I mean, Pokemon Duel devs are known for this. I'm looking at you, Malamar. RIP. Everybody have a moment of silence for Malamar. Okay, but back to the video. But there's one thing that I want to talk about. How would you counter that? I mean, obviously anything with grass knot, but my hair's kind of messed up. What about this figure that we have from the Queen's Cup? What about this man right here? The Sandslash. How can you KO something that you cannot attack into? I want to show you guys, I'm having a lot of fun with this deck. I want to show you another match on how I absolutely neutralize Celesteela. But before we jump into that, let's open up these boosters. We have a blue, a gold, and a rainbow. And can we please get an EX? And we're not going to get one with the blue. We're going to Makuhita. Gold. I want to at least see some gold lights. Here we go. Okay, it's blue. Cyndaquil. Alright, now I'm pretty sure we're going to at least get a rare out of this rainbow. It would be nice if we finally get the Manaphy. And I'll add the Manaphy in this deck, right, Divani? It's a Dratini. Okay, so we did not pull it there. But like I said, I am having a lot of fun with this deck. So I want to show you guys one more match with this deck, and then when we finally get these new figures, I'm like due for a new deck. I mean, can you guys give me a suggestion? I kind of want to run a new deck. I've been running this for a while. You've been seeing videos on it. I want to just change it up, do something different, but give me 1 second, and then we're going to jump into the game. Alright guys, we are back, and like I said, how to neutralize Celesteela. Just like in the title in today's video, take a look at my opponent's deck, take a look at my deck. Now I did upgrade my deck. Like I talked about in the last video, I was like, we should probably have Zoro, and we should probably have Coco. So that's exactly what I did. I replaced the Sandshrew with Zoro, and I replaced the... what else did I have? Sandshrew. Oh, and the Shaman with Coco. Because we don't necessarily need Avalog to go to MP. I mean, his main function is just to switch. That's really all we needed to do. But take a look at my opponent's deck. He's got the Ultra Beast. He's got, you know, the ones that you need for the cheese. He's got Combuskin, which Combuskin is pretty viable. I don't know why he has the Regirock. Just because it hits for 150. This wheel is just too inconsistent. I don't like it. And then he's got the Shaman. I don't know why he has a Shaman. Well, probably just move his Celesteela, but let's take a look at Celesteela. Look at this figure. It is probably one of the best figures standalone. Probably top 2, honestly. Like, who's better? Him, like this and Lunala. I think those are the front runners for standalone figures. Because how are you going to counter this? It's got Rendezvous. Okay, well maybe we'll use Rowlet or Terrakion or any other figures that turns your blues into a miss. Well, that's really only a small slice. It is only 25. Although I swear this figure hits Rendezvous as much as Arcanine hits... no, more than Arcanine hits miss. And Arcanine hits miss a lot. Yeah. Of course he hits Rendezvous more than Arcanine hits miss. Because the Rendezvous is bigger than the miss. What I actually meant to say is he hits Rendezvous more than Arcanine hits his extreme speed because Arcanine hits miss a lot. Back to the video. But if that goes away, think about it. On its first battle, the flamethrower is Flame Gun. So it's got a huge purple. And if you have a gold, and you're going to counter down the first one, you have to worry about the Rendezvous. I just think, I don't know, how do you counter this figure? Well, how are you going to counter Mega Ray? I think this figure right here. Figures like this are very unique because you can attack into it. I mean, obviously, unless you set up the board to where you are forced to attack. Otherwise, if you go under, you get surrounded, which takes a lot of time to set up. But I think this is a key figure in figures like Celesteela or other figures that are just too high powered. So I want to show you guys just how I completely neutralize this Celesteela. Here we go. Opponent long throw, so I know exactly what he's going to do. He's going to try and hit that cheese. So I'm going to bring Coco back, and he brings up his... we're going to stop and talk about it. He brings up his Shaman. Now, typically when Ultra Beast users, they bring on the Celesteela, they put Pheromosa right here, and they try to rock it right, and they get the cheese right away. He probably saw that I have 3. I have 2 runners. So if he did that, I would have just moved my Rotom right there. So that's probably why he just brought up his Shaman to kind of shut up the Shuppet wall, or to give the Celesteela 2 MP. So that's why I bring out my Sandslash, because there's no way you can come in and attack me. Well, what does my opponent do? He comes in right and attacks me, and I'm like, bro, we've had this figure for some time. Like, you gotta know what it can do. So I'm going to take the entry point. I'm going to threaten game. He has to cover up, and I'm like, I'm just going to attack with my Sandslash. I have the great odds of taking this out. Boom, I hit one, and I hit one. I was pretty salty. I was like, come on, dude. Like, you got to hit that more. And then my opponent max revives right here, and we're going to talk, and we're going to stop, and we're going to talk about this play. So he still has his... yeah, so he just ruined everything. He still has his Shaman in the center of the board. So he can bring on anything that has... 1 MP or below to +1. So Celesteela has Celesteela has 1 MP. It now has +2 or +1 off the bench. So that's why he was able to move right next to it, and he still has 2 MP. So because he did that, I was like, oh, I know exactly what you're trying to do. You're gonna try and get really close to my board. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to long throw my Avalog, and look how huge that blue is. I'm like, I don't think my opponent wants to risk trying to rendezvous my Avalok because of how large my blue is. So even if he does move up, I'm going to move up Coke with the following turn and just threaten him to kind of back off. But what my opponent does is he gets ballsy and he DCs, and I'm like, bro, you don't have the odds. Like, why? So I'm not going to switch. I have a great survivability, and boom, I hit the dodge just like that. So now what I'm going to do is, guess what? You forgot that I have the Rotom on the entry point. We are just going to bring him up, and bye-bye. Celesteela completely neutralized. So now my opponent's starting to close in. We're going to stop and talk about this as well. My opponent starts closing in, and I don't want to get Explosion. I don't want to get Heavy Armed. I'm going to put, again, my Avalog, who has a large blue. I don't think my opponent is going to try and risk attacking my Coco to KO it, because Coco also has a decent amount of blue. So I block off with the Avalog, and I'm kind of just waiting for my opponent to either move up his Pheromosa and or his Combuskin all over this side, so I can, you know, get the cheese. I'm going to pull the refrigerator and go here. So let's see what happens. My opponent moves up, and I'm like, okay, that's fine. I have to cover a goal because he's threatening game. And then he takes entry point. I'm like, okay, this is perfect. Now all I need you to do is start moving up the left side with the rest of your figures. My opponent, or I'm going to, oh no, because he moved that. I'm sorry, he moved that, so now I can do it without getting surrounded. So now I'm going to refrigerator, and I'm like, all we got to do is survive the Combuskin. The Combuskin does not come after me, and you guys already know. That is pretty much GG, boys. I have a large blue. If you attack me, I'm probably going to survive. My opponent does not see it. He goes forward. He attacks the Rotom Frost, and I switch just for the hell of it. Doesn't matter if you KO me or not, which he does. He gets a Cyclone Kick, and he gets to evolve. He gets this new buffed up Blaziken with only 8 miss. Looks really cool. Although I hate Blaziken, you guys know that. I would never evolve into Blaziken except certain circumstances. But then we can just pull the cheese just like that, and it feels so good. It feels so good. But I'm probably going to be done running this deck. Please give me some deck suggestions. I want to try something new. But until we get Mega Rayquaza, I'm not prepared for that deck, guys. I'm not prepared for the havoc that it's going to cause. But we're going to cut it there. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, peace.